All right. So everyone is now heading towards the council hall. Thank you, Book, for correcting me. So everyone is being led there by their respective sponsor, for lack of a better term. You guys, hear like the bell ringing because there's a big bell on top of the council hall, which is used to signify when important meetings are going on. You guys are all shepherded in. You guys see some crowds gathering, and you guys are brought to a large room. Each of you is with your sponsor, and now that everyone is together, Ada Oland will be like, now that everyone's together, thank you for gathering for this rather sudden town hall meeting. As you guys are well aware, we were all asked to pick a person to represent our interests in our task force. I hope that since everyone was able to pick a volunteer, that this will be an impartial group. And thank you to all of the volunteers for agreeing to be part of this. We greatly appreciate your willingness to help out in order to keep our town safe. Now, let's go ahead and go around the room and introduce our new task members. I will go first. This is one of our local fisher, Ella. I'm sure everyone here has met her before. And she kind of gestures to Ella.
Ella will step forward and bow. Thank you for, this honor. I look forward to helping.
Thank you again for accepting my request. Next, Gellin, would you like to introduce your sponsor? Oh, thank you. Now, I'm sure all of you guys have heard the stories of the great Captain Quinn, who I picked as my representative. He just happened to come into shore recently. I'll go ahead and gesture to the captain.
I'll take a small step forward, raise my hand and green. Oi! Pleasure to be part of this here task force. Leaned over to Gellin. What's with the talking puddle?
Eleander's gonna get. He's gonna raise his voice. I object to this, Gellin. You brought a pirate to our task force after all the problems the sea princes have caused us over the years. And Gellin and Ada will be like, hold. I know this was before you came into town, Eleander, but before the crown took interest in our town again, the captain here was a great help against the sea princes. He's definitely earned a honorary townsfolk citizenship. Eleander's going to kind of cross his arms and fine, but I've got my eye on you, Captain.
And mine on you. Mine on you.
Eleander will then, my person here is someone who I know all in town knows because of their honorable business in town. And he'll gesture to Calmir. And I'm sure you all know Calmir and his amazing caliber horses.
Kalmar will just not even really step forward, just kind of nod his head in acknowledgement of what's being said about him and just keep his mouth shut.
And then Manistred will step forward and, I found a nice elf to help out for my volunteer. It's got great magic potential. This is Dislara.
Desi's going to stand up and say, hello, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. My name is Desi. And then I sit back down.
And then Anders will step forward and I actually called in a few favors for my volunteer, but I brought a true war hero. He helped my father out back during the war. Lana, please step forward.
Lana will step forward, standing at attention, stiff back. It is a pleasure to meet all of you, and I am greatly looking forward to being able to lend any aid I can. And then sit back down.
Then Ada will take back over again. Thank you, everyone, for the introductions. As I'm sure you guys have heard, the first task we actually have for you is to check out the abandoned mansion on the outside of town. I'm sure some of you have heard some of the rumors. We don't take too much stock in the haunting rumors, but we started to think that there might be a sea prince gathering hiding in there or something similar. We've seen people head over there, but not return, and some of the townsfolk are getting worried. We would appreciate it if you five would be willing to check that out for your first assignment. And she'll kind of just like look over to you all and kind of like hopeful eyes and things like that.
Ella will,
Wait.
of course, nod her head and go, "Of course. It'll be the first thing we do."
Captain will give a little shrug and kind of be like, all right, but not really say anything.
Anyone else potentially want to chime in or object or anything like that?
No objections. I'm happy to help.
Thank you all. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to cut
It's
you
okay. I was just gonna say, just a general knowledge for everyone. Kalmar is for the most part gonna keep to himself, so he's often just not gonna say anything.
Desi's kind of off in her own little world, but she's smiling and nodding along that she'll go. She'll do it.
In that case, we hope you will check this out with utmost haste. Please don't feel you have to go tonight, but if you could at least head over there tomorrow and let us know what you find, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if there's anything any of us can do to make sure you guys have what you need, please feel free to ask.
Okay, Kalmar will just kind of nod his head and again acknowledgement, but remain silent.
If none of you have anything to add, then I believe we can go ahead and adjourn this meeting, and hopefully you guys will be able to have great success on your first mission.
Okay.
Could you guys just let one of us know once you guys are complete, and we will hold a council meeting for your report. And with that, you guys are dismissed. So is there anything that anyone would like to do at this time? Of course, you guys are now all introduced to each other as the task force.
I would like to go up to Ella and poke her hair.
Ella, you see the feminine, slim wood elf head over and kind of start playing with your hair, almost like a cat playing with like a little mouse toy.
Ella's just gonna kind of watch her from the side for a moment. She's used to people being curious about her hair because it moves and acts like water. So she's just gonna watch her for a second and go, "Is there something I can help you with?"
It's so flowy and pretty.
Thank you. I'd be careful though.
Be careful, why?
Well, Phil doesn't really necessarily like when people mess with his home.
Who?
Ella's just gonna kind of reach underneath her hair a little bit and she'll pull out a little tiny octopus. This is Phil. He's my friend.
Hello, little friend. You're so cute.
Phil just kind of stares. Yeah, he's a little shy, so
You are very lucky to have such an adorable companion with you.
he tries. She just kind of tucks him back underneath her hair and he just goes back to where he was.
All right, Desi's putting her hands back to herself.
If you ever want to see him again, just let me know.
So at this point, Kalmar is going to kind of have waited around to see if the rest of the group is going to want to meet together. It doesn't look like they're planning on holding a group meeting. So he's actually going to head out and head towards the mansion because he has good night vision. So he's just going to kind of scope it out tonight.
Yeah, so you guys see Kalmar after like the talking starts. He kind of does like a little graceful bow and heads out.
Desi is going to suggest that they go with him.
Well, he didn't tell anybody that he's going to check it out. He's just leaving.
She just wants to follow him. She doesn't care where he's going.
I mean, in fairness, this is probably the only other elf you've seen in the town so far, even if it is another subrace of elf.
He smells nice.
I mean, he probably smells like stable, but okay. So does anyone else want to follow as well, or are you guys all just going off on your own at this point?
Ella's gonna approach the other two and just kind of look over to see Ella and Desi leaving. Should we follow them? This is my first time on a task force. I'm not entirely sure what protocol is here.
I'm just gonna kind of glance at Ella and then glance over at Lana and lean over to Lana and be like, "Oi, talking puddle?"
Quinn, you notice that your cat is following after Ella after seeing the little octopus that lives in her hair.
No, not Phil. He's so sweet.
Oi, Sebastian, what are you doing?
He starts running off.
Runs after Sebastian.
Everybody's left.
Yeah.
Okay.
The council members
Um,
are still like there if you have any questions for them though, if you don't want to run after the other group members yet. Everyone's kind of just like gathering up paperwork and getting ready to head out.
Lana would follow him because they didn't set up a meeting time or anything, and she just assumes everybody's going home. She'll go after him, being like, "So, when are we meeting tomorrow, guys? We haven't discussed anything about the plan."
So as soon as Calmar realizes that he's got someone following him, he's actually going to stop, which means that Lara will be able to catch up to him, and then he'll see that the others are coming too, and he'll be like, "Okay," so he'll stand there for a minute in the street. I figured I'd just check the outside of the manor tonight, and then meet with everyone in the morning and let you all know what I found.
Where are we?
She's asking where are we meeting.
Calmar will just kind of shrug in that case, and he'll be at the guild hall for morning, let's say 7.
Okay. If you trust in your abilities to scope it out, I will guys 7 in the morning then, and we can actually go in.
Okay. So you guys now have the plans to meet tomorrow morning at 7. Calmar, you're still wanting to go scout out the mansion beforehand, right?
Yes.
Now that plan has been talked about, is there anyone else who wants to join Calmar for the scouting, or is everyone just kind of going to go off and do their own thing now?
Desi would like to go with Calmar.
I'm going to pick Sebastian up by the scruff and put him back on my shoulder, and then be like, all right, we need to get back on over to our stay, and then head back over to where we're sleeping.
What time is it right now?
It's about 5 p.m.
Okay.
The sun is just starting to set, so there's still going to be daylight for at least a couple hours.
Okay. In which case, Calmar will actually wait until it's full dark to go check things out. So he will, in the meantime, head back to his stables. Is the elf following him still?
No, she's not. She's going to go back to her place and rest up until nightfall and then try and go find Calmar again.
Oh dear.
Okay.
She's really not a stalker, I promise.
I don't know. I was getting crazed fangirl vibes.
So is there anything anyone would like to do before we move ahead to nightfall? Just last chance.
She's gonna go swing by the guild hall real quick and see if any of her buddies have any new information on the abandoned place. Specifically, who most recently has gone over there.
So you're going to head to the Mariners Guild Hall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick,
Yes.
Captain Quinn is actually kind of interested in Ella because she's interesting, and also she might have a boat. So I'm going to try to quietly follow her.
We have a lot of stalkers on this team.
So you deliberately trying to follow without being noticed then, right?
Yes.
Just
Okay.
remember, she literally has eyes in the back of her head.
Okay. Well, in that case, Captain, I need you to make a stealth check for me.
First roll of the game. First roll of the game.
And then I'm going to need, in response, Ella, can you make a perception check for me?
Yes.
In that case, Captain, you are not noticed as you follow this weird water-haired girl to the Mariners Guild Hall.
Sweet.
So, Ella, you eventually make your way over to the Mariners Guild Hall. You see all sorts of sailors and whatnot hanging out. A couple are sleeping on bunks and whatnot as they get ready before they head out first thing in the morning. And one of the captains will come up to you and go, "Oh, Ella, long time no see. How's it going right now? Anything we can do for you?"
Oh, it's going interestingly. Actually, I was nominated by Ada to join the town task force as her representative, and tomorrow we're going to be heading to that abandoned mansion you guys are always whispering about. I was wondering if perhaps you could give me some more information, or even if you know who the last person who headed that direction was.
Oh, no one's been over there for months. I mean, old Sammy went over there 4 months or so ago, and as I'm sure you've seen him cowering over in the corner in the bar. I mean, he hasn't been the same. But we have heard some rumors recently of out-of-town folks heading over there and disappearing. Just other than that, that's all we got, really. I mean, they say that old alchemist used to live there, but that was many, many years ago.
Out of town folks. I wonder what would grab their attention to bring them over there.
You didn't hear this from me, but he kind of leans over a little bit closer to you. So they say on nights of the full moon, if you look in the second-story window, you can see the spirits flashing out, trying to attract something from the sea. I think it might be like a sea ghost or something. We have no clue, but be careful. That's all we ask. It'd be terrible to lose one of our own to something that could be needlessly avoided.
She just gives him a reassuring smile and a little bit of a light laugh. Oh, don't you worry about me. I don't think any ghosts are gonna come after me. But thank you for all the useful information. Second story window, huh? On full moon?
Aye.
Well, thank you again so much. And if you get any more information, would you please let me know?
Of course, Ella. Be happy to help.
She just kind of pats him gently on the shoulder. Thank you so much, darling. And then she goes, she's going to go talk to old Sammy.
As a resident, you would know that Sammy likes to hang out at the Snapping Line, which is the big bar for sailors.
Alright.
And now, just before you leave, I'm just going to ask for Quinn. Did you want to follow her into the guild hall during the
Yes.
time? Okay. I'm going to need you to make one more stealth check, this time at disadvantage, because there's multiple people there. So you were able to stay kind of hidden as you snuck your way in. And I'm going to also then have you make a perception check to see how much you were able to overhear. You heard them talking about the mansion a little bit. Once the sailor kind of leaned over, you kind of stopped being able to hear. Kind of got a little bit distracted by the wavy hair. So you didn't quite catch all what they said, but you know they were talking about the mansion.
Did I hear the moon bit?
No, you did not.
Okay.
Ella, you said you wanted to head to the Snapping Line, right?
Yeah, she's going to go talk to old Sammy.
All right. On your way out, go ahead and make another perception check for me.
Nope.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, you did not spy the hiding captain as you walk out.
You know what? She's distracted by her own hair, okay?
Honestly, if I had flowing hair like that, I'd probably be distracted by it too. So you head on over to the Snapping Line. Quinn, are you still following?
I am until she gets to the Snapping Line. Then I'm like, oh, fuck. Because I don't want to partake of that oh so delicious drink again. Gonna wait outside.
Okay. In that case, Ella, you go ahead and walk in. And Quinn, are you still trying to be stealthy? Are you wait outside, or are you just kind of nonchalant now?
Outside, gonna be nonchalant.
Okay. So, Ella, you walk into the Snapping Line. All sorts of standard bar fares going on, lots of sailors and whatnot. And you happen to notice an older man you recognize as Sammy shaking in the back corner.
Ella's going to go ahead and head over to go talk to him. But just before she reaches him, she's going to signal to the bartender and order him a drink.
He sees you approach and goes, "Oh, Ella, what is one of the town celebrities doing here?"
She just kind of chuckles. I'm hardly a celebrity. People just remember me because of my hair, Sammy.
I mean, I'd say more people know you for your hauls, but I'm not one to argue. What can I do for you?
She sits down next to him. Well, it's a bit of an uncomfortable topic, and if you don't want to talk about it, I understand. Ada asked me to join a task force and for the city, and one of our first tasks is heading to that abandoned mansion.
They're sending you there on your first mission?
Well, it's something that's becoming a problem, and really as the task force, we should investigate it. I heard that you went there 4 months ago, and I was wondering if perhaps you could tell me a little bit about your experience.
If there's anything I can tell you, it's don't go. The place is definitely haunted. Ghastly whales. I think I saw a vampire or something. I'm not sure. I ran. I've been feeling like something's been following me ever since.
She's just going to kind of gently touch his shoulder. Hey, it's okay. Take a deep breath. You don't have to remember all of it, okay?
And at that point, the bartender will arrive with your drinks.
She gently pushes his towards him.
Oh, Ella, you're too kind. And he just kind of grabs it and just downs it. 4 months ago, but like you said, there's some rumors. An old alchemist used to live in that house. As I'm sure you know, that was around when the the last drought was. So I needed cash. So I thought maybe I could hopefully find some alchemist remains or something. But all I heard was just ghastly wails and screams and some demonic yelling, and this large bat thing flew at me. It tried to bite me, but I ran. I just didn't look back. And I swear I see that bat still every so often, just out in the trees. He must have finished the job or something.
She's, listening quietly, taking some mental notes. Giant bat thing. Well, I'm glad that you had the common sense to get out of there when you did. I would hate for you to be one of the missing people stories that I've been hearing.
Are there missing people near the mansion now?
Now remember, everything right now is just hearsay. Nothing more than rumors and folk tales.
If their experience is anything close to what I have, then I'm afraid you're probably just going to find bodies. But
then it's important that this task force gets out there and takes care of it so that our sailors and city folk can be at ease.
I won't be joining you, but if there's anything else I can do, please don't hesitate to ask. Especially if the drinks keep coming.
Of course. I will certainly look you up if I need more information. Thank you for being so open. She says as she just kind of pushes her drink towards him as well.
Aye, you're too kind, lass. And he just downs another one.
I'll see you later, Sammy, okay? If you have trouble getting home because you're seeing this thing in the trees, I can come back and escort you home. Personally, I'd like to see if it's there myself.
You're too kind. I don't want you getting wrapped up if we can avoid it, though. Especially if you're tasked with protecting the town. If it is, as I fear, then there will be an encounter between you and that bat eventually.
She just kind of pats him on the shoulder. You take it easy, Sammy, okay? And then she's going to head out. Is there only one exit to this place?
I mean, unless you want to jump out a window, but I wouldn't recommend it.
She would consider it for a second, but, you know.
It is right by the docks, so in theory you could jump out a window and land in the water.
Could go for an evening swim. That could be fun.
Might want to ask to open the window just before you jump out, just as a DM recommendation. But if you want to,
she'll go ahead and just walk along the shoreline to head home.
So you head on out, and Quinn, you're still hanging out outside the bar, right?
Yes.
So you see Ella leave and start heading towards the shore.
Okay, and I start trying to follow her quietly again.
Okay. Give me another stealth check. And Ella, perception check.
Oh, no.
Hold on.
Fuck.
So, Ella, you get kind of like a little like tentacle poking the back of your head, and your octopus buddy points out that you're being followed.
Ella just kind of stops and turns around. Totally out of character question. She would know of Captain Quinn, right?
You have heard stories. You've never met Quinn yourself, but since your parents and grandparents have been here this whole time, you know of like the sea pirate raids and how Captain Quinn helped fight for the town's liberation.
So then she would just know of his reputation via stories through her family and whatnot.
Yeah, but you've never met him personally until today.
Okay. She's gonna turn around, just kind of smile. Oh, hello there, Captain Quinn. Going for a stroll on the shore?
Yes, aye.
Well, it certainly is a lovely night to walk along the beach.
Indeed it is. Mind telling me more about your fishing business?
Oh, it's not really my fishing business. It was my father's and my grandfather's. I mostly do jewelry making now.
Still out there on your boat?
Well, my family's boat. It's not a very big one, just a small little fishing boat. Why do you ask?
I'd like to see it sometime. I have a fancy for boats.
Well, I can assure you it's nothing fancy, and it's seen better days.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Well, perhaps I'll show you sometime later.
Mm.
It's getting a little bit late.
Indeed. Mind pointing me back in the direction of Prime Water's place?
She just kind of points in the appropriate direction. Just right that way.
And you can see the big Prime Water mansion that she points off in the distance.
Ah, indeed. It's over there. I'll be off then. I'll just kind of start walking backwards a few steps and then turn around being like, fuck, I got discovered.
She just kind of stands there and watches him for a while. What a strange fella.
I ship it.
You see as the captain is leaving, this cat is kind of like staring at you still.
She just kind of looks down at the cat. Aren't you supposed to follow him?
Oi, Sebastian, do you want a fish?
Hearing the word fish, Sebastian comes running and hops onto the captain's shoulder.
Interesting indeed. Ella's gonna wait a little while, and then she's gonna turn and continue on her journey home. And then she'll be done for the night.
Okay. In that case, let's go ahead and it's now nighttime.
Ooh, sleepy.
Oh, 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 oh.
Kalmar and Desi, you guys are outside Kalmar's ranch now. Kalmar, you know that the abandoned house that you guys are going to check out is just about 10 minutes down the road outside of town.
Okay. So he's gonna step out of his, he'll step out of his barn because that's where he would have been, and just find this Lara waiting for him.
She's petting his horse.
Kalmar kind of pause. Can I help you?
Oh, hello there. I'm sorry. Your horse is just telling me the funniest joke.
Looks between her, looks at his horse, looks back at her.
He has such a sense of humor.
I see.
So are we going to go explore the house?
You're going with me?
Well, we're on the task force together, aren't we?
All right. Stands there awkwardly for a moment. It's only like a 10-minute walk, so he just kind of turns around and starts walking away.
And Desi just follows him. By the way, you smell nice.
Stops. Slowly turns around to look at her again. Stares for a moment. Turns back around without saying anything. Internally, Kalmar's just kind of like, okay, I'm not used to elves not just immediately hating me. I don't know what's wrong with this elf.
Oh, so much.
As you guys are walking, the road to the house winds through the rocky coastal terrain, often offering a view of the sea below. Occasional patches of moonlight appearing out over the water through the clouds. You guys can, of course, smell all the salt water and whatnot. And you eventually get over to the house. The crypt house sits on the highest ground in the area. Around it, there's a stone wall that has crumbled in many places, exposing the interior grounds. There's an ornate metal gate that lies open at the end of the road, swaying slightly in the wind. All sorts of wild flora has grown throughout the inner yard, but all the years cannot hide the evidence of a well-tended garden that once sat here. Near the house, the rotted wooden roof of a water well rises out of the tall grass.
Okay. While they're walking on this road, Kalmar is going to be paying attention because I believe the council mentioned that there is thoughts that maybe the sea pirates had been using the house, I believe is what I heard.
That's correct.
Okay. So he's going to be keeping an eye out for a lookout, and then he is going to go ahead and, as stealthily as he can, start wandering around the wall, looking at all the holes, looking through the broken down parts of it, just seeing what he can see from the outside before he goes in.
Okay, and you said you didn't want to be stealthy about it, correct?
I want to be stealthy about it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
Okay.
Does Lara, are you stealthing as well?
She's not being particularly stealthy. She's just she is looking around at everything. But yeah, she's not really being stealthy about it.
Okay.
In which case, Kalmar's going to stop being stealthy, look back at her. Going to come with me. You have to do this quietly.
Well, I'm being quiet. I just don't see the point in tiptoeing around everywhere.
Kalmar just kind of closes his eyes, takes a deep breath. We don't know if there's actually people here somewhere.
Oh, there aren't.
And you know this how?
Well, I thought it was quite obvious.
Again, just silently kind of staring at her, really wishing he could figure out a way to politely tell this woman, female elf, to leave.
Yeah, she ain't leaving.
I know. And he's kind of realizing that. So he's just going to kind of stand there for a minute and stare at her, and then go back to walking the perimeter. At that point, what's the point of being stealthy if she's not?
It's perfectly safe.
In that case, while you guys are doing your perimeter check, each of you give me a perception check.
Yes.
You guys see that the stone wall around is about 6 feet tall. Pretty much closes almost the entirety of the garden, but it is collapsed in several places. You could even just like access the garden without having to get to the main gate. You guys do notice that there is a well hiding in the garden and whatnot, among a bunch of tall grass. And you can definitely see there's a nice little garden area that's actually surprisingly not nearly as destroyed as a lot of the other areas in the yard. There's a few broken tools and some tangles of weeds, but you also happen to notice that there's actually a couple rose bushes as well.
But we're not seeing any signs of other people having been roaming around.
No, you haven't seen any footprints or anything like that, although with how tall the grass is as well, it'd be very hard for footprints to be left out.
Well, footprints, but the walking through the grass would create a path.
You don't see anything that would be big enough for a humanoid, at least.
Okay.
Maybe like something like a rat or something like that came by recently or something like that, but that's about it.
So do we get all the way around back to the front and we don't really see anything?
Yep, that's about all you see.
Okay.
At least if you're staying outside of the wall anyway.
So Keller get back to the front, kind of consider what to do. He wants to get closer, but he'd like to do so stealthily, and a certain elf isn't helping.
I mean, you can still try and stealth. Not
Can
sure
I
how
stealth
good it
if my
will-
party member's not being stealthy?
You can still stealth. They might see Desi, but not see you.
Okay. Kamlar's going to look to Desi, and I'm going to go walk around the house itself, see if I can hear anything from inside, and then go and do that.
Okay.
We do another stealth check, because he will be stealthy as he can.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check.
See if it does me any good.
Ooh, a nat 20. You are practically invisible.
Yeah!
Now, out of curiosity, where exactly around the house are you going? Are you midway through the grass? Are you like
No, he's
up
going to be
against
right
the
up against the
door?
wall of the house.
Okay. And you're listening, you said, right?
Listening and looking still.
Okay. As you get around, you notice a couple windows and things like that, but as you peek in and look and listen, you don't happen to see any evidence of any people having been here.
Okay.
You do notice as you go around that the well seems like it might be kind of falling apart. You do see there's still a couple like droplets coming down the well into the into the actual shaft too. So
There's
it looks like
little droplets.
yeah, you can see like water dropping from the top into the shaft. Like it's like maybe water has been put in here recently.
Noticing that the water well looks like it's been used, he's actually going to go and investigate the water well.
Now, are you looking into the well itself or just
He'll look
checking
into the well itself as well. He'll look around it, see if he sees any like tracks to show that maybe somebody was using the well recently, and also look in.
Okay. You don't see any like tracks or anything like that. You see maybe like some crevices, like where maybe like some rats hid at one point. And you look down into the shaft, and you do see some clean water down at the bottom. Now, are you using any light source, or are you just using your dark vision to look?
Just using my dark vision.
Okay. Yeah, you see that there's water down there still, but beyond that, you don't have to notice anything at the moment.
Okay. It'd be reasonable to assume that the water table still exists underneath that well and probably just hasn't dried up.
It's possible.
Okay. Going back to the house and continuing to circle.
Is there anything that either of you two would like to do while you're still at the house?
Yeah, I guess while he's kind of looking around and doing all that, then Desi's going to kind of look around also. Not as much. She's more interested in the plants, really. But she is kind of looking around also, though not as much as Cal.
Okay.
Other than that, yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, you guys don't turn up anything too concrete at the moment. You guys think that maybe coming back with both your full party and with some daylights might actually have a better impact on your searches. Because right now it's just hard to make out between like all the tall grass and everything like that.
Kamlar's going to stand there looking at the door, wondering if he should just go in, look back at the elf that's following him, back at the door, and then come to the conclusion that he probably better wait until it's actual daylight and they have the rest of the group together. Especially since he's not seen any signs of other people that he can tell. So in which case, he'll just turn and start walking away without really saying anything.
Okay. Well, in that case, morning comes. You guys all gather at the guild hall, or excuse me, the council hall. And yeah, now that you guys are all together, what would you like to do?
I would like to ask Calmer. How do you pronounce that?
Calmer.
Okay. I
Cal.
would like to. I'm gonna ask Cal. I like it. What he found last night.
In which case, Cal was that going around, he didn't see anybody posted outside. He didn't see any signs that there were people there at all. No signs of tracks, no signs of people inside. He didn't find much, but he did find that there weren't a lot of people there.
We found nothing.
Are we going with it's haunted?
Well, I did speak to some locals last night. From my understanding of the rumors is that on nights of the full moon, if you look in the second story window, you see what they presume is a sea ghost of some kind. I spoke with someone who went there 4 months ago named Old Sammy. He's a local fisherman. And he claims that he saw a large bat thing, possibly a vampire that tried to bite him, and now haunts his every waking nighttime. And that's pretty much about all I found out.
Yeah, that's about what he told me as well.
Oh, you spoke with him? He's an interesting fella.
I asked some people around the town when I first got here before the meeting to see what their take on it was. And the general consensus of the people is that it's haunted, but the council did say that we shouldn't put too much stock in that.
Yes, well, fishermen do like to tell tall tales.
But I think the only thing we can do other than speculate at this point is go check it out.
That sounds good to me.
Since they do suspect pirates? Is that what they suspected? I think
Yeah,
that's what suspected.
they suspected that it was a sea pirate, the Sea Princess, who's the local pirates affiliation. They suspect
Okay.
that they took over the house.
Not including me.
You're not a local pirate.
Desi is just sitting there, kind of waving at the cat.
I kind of just glance over, watch Sebastian, look over at Desi, look at Sebastian, wave
Sebastian's
Sebastian
kinda
over
leaning-
to Desi.
He's leaning forward a little bit off your shoulder, kind of like paw out a little bit.
Hello, kitty
Go
cat.
ahead.
Sebastian hops off of Quinn's shoulder and walks over to you.
Hello, little furry friend. I just kind of pet him.
Starts purring.
Do you bring your cat with you on the boat?
Of course, he's my deck cat. He catches all the mice and eats loads of fish.
The cat goes wow and like puffs his chest out a little bit.
Oh, I am sure you are very fat and happy living on that boat then.
Well, unfortunately, our home kind of hit the bucket, as it were. So we're looking for a new one at the moment.
You should live here. It seems nice.
I guess let's go take a look, see what we can see.
You guys start heading out of town. You see a couple townsfolk will come join you for the walk and whatnot, and kind of just very curious as to why you even are heading towards the mansion. As you get closer, more of them start to kind of get scared and head back until finally the last town person is like, "Oh, if you're going there, well, good luck to you," and walks back to town.
Hey, Sebastian, do you want to go check it out?
Kind of just like curls into your shoulder, like no.
I think he's a little scared.
Yeah, he kind of tries to like bury himself in one of your pockets.
Do you want to wait over here, little guy?
He buries even deeper because he doesn't want to leave you.
Okay, just stay hidden.
Miss Water Lady,
Ella just kind of looks over. Yes?
is your octopus scared too?
Ella kind of looks up at her forehead a little bit, almost as if she's trying to kind of figure that out.
You can feel him gripping a bit tighter than normal, but he still seems to be ready just in case.
He seems tense, but he hasn't inked yet, so he's not spooked.
Okay, good to know.
I'm sorry, did you say inked?
Well, he is an octopus. You are aware that species inks.
Does that turn your hair black?
Well, of course.
Well, I didn't know if maybe it slipped out of the hair and...
Well, I typically wring it out. I don't really care for it to be in my hair too much. It cuts the oxygen and makes it hard for him to breathe in there.
Interesting.
Alright, so as you guys all get to the house, I'm just going to go ahead and give the same description I gave to Bree and Corey when they were here earlier. The decrepit house sits the highest ground on the area. Around it, there's a stone wall that has crumbled in many places, exposing the interior grounds. An ornate metal gate lies open at the end of the road, swaying slightly in the wind. Wild flora grows throughout the inner yard, but all the years cannot hide the evidence of a well-tended garden that once sat here. Near the house, the rotted wooden roof of a water well rises out of the tall grass.
And are we at the front gate or just walking along the wall that we're seeing?
The road takes you up to the front gate, but you can go around the wall if you want to. There are holes throughout the wall so that you can enter through one of the holes in there if you don't want to go through the gate for whatever reason.
I'm fine with going through the gate.
I'm gonna look at the rest of the party and be like, do we want to split up?
It'd probably be best to stay together, be able to cover, make sure we don't miss anything.
If the animals are afraid, then we should probably stick together.
All right.
So you guys go through the gate, and you guys can see that there's tons of tall grass around. You guys happen to notice there's still some water dripping from the roof of the well into the shaft. The garden has a few broken tools lying around. There's a couple rose bushes that are over in that area too. It actually looks like the roses are thriving even, which seems a bit odd for an abandoned house.
I look at the well and just see if it's moisture from the air that's creating these drips or if it's actually being used.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check, please.
Ella would also like to go check out this well.
Probably was, because I don't think this is going to end well.
Look at those rolls.
Wow. So now, out of curiosity, just to make sure, are you guys just checking around the well? Are you...
I'll look in it and look at the roof, like, because I'm watching the water drip from the roof into the well. So I'll watch the water and look into the shaft.
Okay.
Ella's gonna walk around it once before leaning over to look into the shaft of the well.
You guys look around, and you guys can see that, aside from the rotting wood on the roof, it's surprisingly well kept. And you can even see there is clean water down at the bottom. And Ella, you actually notice there seems to be like a little gleam. Like there's the glint of something catching the sunlight.
She just kind of tilts her head. How deep is this well?
Just some quick math, you guesstimate probably around 20 feet or so.
She kind of looks around. I think I see something at the bottom there. I can get it, but I'd need someone to pull me back out.
I got some rope on me.
Is there a bucket in this well?
There is, but you're not sure if the rope would be able to handle the size of a full-on humanoid. It looks like it's definitely...
We should send Phil.
There.
Yeah, I was thinking Phil.
Let's send Phil down. He can tell us what is down there.
Ella just kind of stares at them for a moment. I really can get it, but I mean, if you want to try and send a saltwater octopus into fresh water, by all means, be sure to have a eulogy prepared.
No,
It'll
no,
be
no.
quick.
Here, let me pull out my rope.
From all of you looking and whatnot, you can kind of tell that you actually might be able to climb down the well just because of the way the rocks have formed to make the wall.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and try and climb down there.
In that case, go ahead and give me an athletics check, please. You start climbing down the well. You make it about 10 feet down when you hear like a odd noise coming from the rocks.
Ella's going to kind of pause and listen for a moment.
Can we hear this at all, or just Ella?
Just Ella right now. And then all of a sudden you see a snake shoot out and try to bite you, but it happens to miss. You dodge away just in time.
She's going to just kind of, dodge it and cling to the side. She's going to curse in Primordial.
So you guys just hear a bunch of like guttural weird noises come from Ella as she's climbing in the well.
Boy, is she
Did
all right?
we see the snake?
No, it was from inside the well. But
Oh, okay.
now that the first one has struck, you see another one's starting to come out from outside the wall as well.
Like little garden snake or a viper?
It's definitely bigger than a garden snake, but it's about medium-sized creature.
Oh, okay.
I'm
And,
gonna back up.
Apparently,
I'm
Desi
gonna
doesn't
hop
do snakes.
backwards.
All right. And now that the snakes have come out, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Well, get it, Desi.
I think this is the first time I've ever rolled anything good in initiative.
That might be right.
So just so you know, Clint, Kalmar was staying back originally from the well.
Okay. We are at the top of the round. So first up
Well,
is Desi.
Desi is startled by the snake and is going to use a magic missile on it. Ba-boom. Magic missile.
And are you, since it's 3 missiles, are you shooting all of them at the single snake?
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead and roll for the other 2 missiles.
Ooh.
Take that, snake.
You startled it.
You blew it up. That's what you did.
I got startled and just shot magic missiles and it apparently exploded a snake. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, it's not like we were going to be able to ask the snake any questions. But still, well, actually, I'm in the well.
I was gonna say, how far away is the snake from the well?
It's right next to it.
Okay.
It was hiding in like a crevice in the well.
Okay.
oh no.
Did my magic missiles disturb anything with the well at all? Like when it blew up this poor snake?
No, they just pretty much just right through it.
Okay.
Sorry, is there more than one snake?
In the well at one that came out.
Okay, so I've got one in the well.
Yes. So is there anything else that you would like to do, Desi? You still have your movement and a bonus action.
No, I think I'm good. I'm just like, geez, I killed that thing.
Yeah, you destroyed it.
I
Right.
know. I don't like
Okay.
snakes, apparently.
That's it. Then next initiative is Quinn.
So initially, I'm going to pull out my club. Then I see her that she has, exploded the snake. So I want to run over to the well and ask if Ella's all right.
So you run over and you look in and you see Ella is hanging on to the side, and there's another snake that's kind of like half out of the well. That's like trying to snap at her. So you move over to the well. Is there anything else you want to do?
I want to do vicious mockery at the snake.
In that case, Snake is going to need to make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm so happy that you know that. Because that's such a Chelsea thing.
So go ahead and roll your damage. All right. All right. So he takes 1 damage,
Get out of here, you limp noodle!
and he has disadvantage on his next.
So let me get this straight. She mocked a snake so harshly that the snake took physical damage from it and now has disadvantage.
Takes psychic damage, but yes. Ella, it is your turn.
It's Ella's turn?
Yes.
Okay. She's going to go ahead and punch this snake.
Okay. Roll your attack.
This poor snake.
Bam! Punch in the face. Roll your damage. Just so you know, since you are a monk, your martial arts lets you do another punch as a bonus action, since you used a martial arts attack for your attack.
Yeah, she's going to go ahead and punch that thing again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for your attack.
She didn't do it.
Yeah, that one, Snake kind of like gets a little bit wise to you and just dodges out of the way for that second attack.
It's having a moment of confidence.
Damn limp noodle.
Is there anything else you want to do? You still have movements if you want to move.
No. So she moves too far down. She's going to risk that attack opportunity.
You can move about 5 feet either direction.
She'll go ahead and climb down 5 feet.
All right. In that case, next it is Lana's turn.
I will go over to the well, and you said there was a rope, correct? It was
Yes.
a rope on it? It is kind of old.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to grab onto the end of it regardless in case she has to bail, and I can pull her up.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, I got nothing for long range.
All right. Case that takes us to Kalmar.
She cursed in an unknown language to him, so he has no idea. He just knows they're shouting at something down the well.
I mean, you did see at least the first snake come out and then get simultaneously exploded.
Yeah, he saw that much. So he's just like, is there another snake in the well or something? Debating whether or not he's going to actually go to the well and try to shoot it.
I mean, in fairness, he also did hear Quinn yell at something in the well.
It's true. He
Called
him
it a limp noodle. So.
Let's hope he's not talking to Ella.
I mean, it could be.
Kalmar is going to return to just watching and making sure that everything's okay. There's already 2 other people at the well.
Just watching then for now.
He's watching and also looking to see if more snakes come out.
Okay, sounds good. In that case, now we are on to Mr. Snake. He's going to try and bite Ella.
That's rude.
He's having a hard time, okay?
And he actually does manage to get a nice bite onto Ella.
Is this a poisonous snake? Or venomous snake, I should say.
You don't know at the moment. So it managed to do a nice 5 damage to Ella. And I actually need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
7.
Oh no.
Oh, you got so lucky. You take 3 poison damage. And now we're back up at the top of the round with Desi.
You said that the snake came out of a hole in the well. I'd like to get a little closer and cautiously examine the hole to make sure there's nothing else that's going to come out.
In that case, give me a perception check, please.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
As far as you're concerned, the snakes are magic and just teleported here.
Who would believe that? Okay. Okay. That's all I got.
Okay, well, that's all. Then move on to the captain.
I'm going to toss one end of my rope over to Lana, and I guess toss the other end down to Ella. At the same time, can I throw a dagger down at the snake?
You know, I'll be nice and say that bonus action is getting the rope ready. So yes, go ahead and make your attack roll. You huck the dagger, and it goes wide and lands in the water.
Fuck.
Ella, your turn. You just got bit by the snake, and you are feeling a lot of pain right now.
Yeah, that really fucking hurt.
So there is an option you can do. If you don't want to attack, you can take the disengage action, which what that does is it lets you move out of range and not trigger an opportunity attack in exchange for not being able to attack yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You did also get a rope thrown down if you want to use that to climb out.
She's gonna go ahead. Well, seems like a waste to come all the way down here, not get the item.
There's also a dagger now in the water.
I was gonna say his dagger is also down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Could be nice and get it
How
for him.
deep is the water?
It looks like it's maybe about 5 feet or so.
Can she hold on to the rope, drop down to grab the item, and then yell for them to pull her up? Or will that incur the attack of opportunity?
If you use the disengage action, then you won't trigger an attack of opportunity. If you're just jumping down, you will.
Because she was going to disengage, but she's she's just going to disengage. She'll
Okay.
get the item after they get rid of the snake.
Okay. You go ahead and take the disengage, and you drop down 5 feet.
Yeah,
Now standing in the water.
that way she can get that item.
And are you reaching around in the water for said item?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a perception check real quick.
Okay.
You actually managed to both find Quinn's dagger, since you saw where it flew past you. But you also see a handful of coins down at the bottom that you go ahead and grab. And then is there anything else you'd like to do? Technically still have some movement if you want to try and climb back up now.
That would incur an attack of opportunity, though, wouldn't it?
I don't believe so because you already took the disengage action.
Alright, yeah, she's gonna grab the rope and get the hell out of there as fast as possible.
In that case, give me an athletics check at advantage since you're using the rope. Oh yeah, you speed up that rope and you're back up at the top now.
She's just shaking where she got bit.
We are now on to Lana.
Can I use the medicine skill to help her with any of that?
You can make a medicine roll for me, and we can see if you can stabilize her and stop the bleeding. Out of curiosity, do you have like an herbalism kit or anything like that?
I believe I do. Let me double check my inventory 1 second. Oh, no, I do not.
I'll still let you go ahead and make the medicine check though. You quickly whip out some bandages and wrap her wound, throw on enough pressure, the bleeding stops, and Ellie, you start to feel a little bit better. You get 2 hit points back
Yay.
because DM is nice. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn, Lana?
No, that would be it.
All right, and then we are now on to Kalmar. So you saw Ella climb out of the well looking pretty beat up, and you just saw Lana wrap her wound and put on a little bit of like antibiotics and things like that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to decide. Did you manage to get what was in the well?
I just imagine Ella giving him the dirtiest look.
Ella just kind of looks over. Yes, thank you for your concern.
Kalmar has nothing to say.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, she was obviously already taken care of. Asking if she's all right is a stupid question.
What an asshole.
He was mostly wondering if they needed to try to go back down and get it, or if it was okay now. But he just doesn't communicate any of that.
I love having introverts in the party. Move on to Mr. Snake. He's going to go ahead and slither through and pop out of the hole that the first one came out of that happened to get completely missed by Desi, who is now going to go ahead and take a bite. Oof.
Oh my god.
Oh shit!
Oh, damn. Okay, so... Yeah, no, this... So, the snake just comes out and just, like, right in the neck. And you guys watch Desi collapse to the ground. All right, so Desi, you made your... I guess first it automatically did it, so I'm just going to give you a chance to do it yourself. So, roll a d20 for me. That's a death saving throw for you. Yeah, I'm going to remove the failure that auto gave you and put a success because of so you saved your first death saving throw, so that's good, and that's all you can do for your turn because you're dying.
Okay. I wish I could tell them that I have a herbalism kit on me.
Yeah, no, you're unconscious. So
I know.
Am I close enough to hit the snake with my club right now?
no, you have to walk around Ella and Desi's body.
Okay, so I'm going to walk around and hit the snake with my club.
Go ahead and make an attack roll. You guys are flanking it now, so go ahead and make an attack roll at advantage.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Woo! We're gonna blow up another snake.
Yeah.
How do you want to do it?
Smack it in its fucking face.
For flavor, are you smacking down or are you like smacking up?
Down.
All right, so you take your club, you do a little spinny flourish, you crash it down so hard you hear the skull crack open.
Oh.
Sweet.
Is there anything else you want to do? You do have a person who's right next to you bleeding out. You can do healing word if you wanted to, because that's a bonus action.
Okay, I want to do that.
Desi, you come back to life, and you have 7 HP right now.
Yay!
You're welcome.
I'm not poisoned or anything, right? I didn't take any poison damage. I was just dying.
Yeah, you were just straight dying.
Okay, just checking.
And on that, we are now out of initiative. You have one party member who's pretty hurt, another who is missing a grand total of 1.
Don't mind Ella. She's just kind of grumbling to herself right now.
I would like to use my herbalism kit.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check for me. Go ahead and roll at advantage since you're using the medicine kit too.
Boom!
Boom, wow. So you managed to do some quick herb mixing. You managed to create a healing potion.
Cool. I'm going to give it to Ella.
Ella, you now have a healing potion in your hand.
Oh, thank you. That was very impressive that you made that so fast.
I've had a lot of practice.
I want to hear more about that later. Right now, I'm going to drink this, though. So I'm going to go ahead and drink the healing potion. How does the healing potion work?
Go ahead and roll 2d4 for me. You regain 9 hit points total, so you're back to full.
Yay!
Is she still poisoned, or did the poison also go away?
The poison went away too.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my rope back up and look down the well to see if, 1, if anything else is down there, and 2, if my dagger, if I can see it.
Alright, you pull the rope up, and then go ahead and give me a perception check.
I'm just winning on these rolls today, aren't I?
You look around, but it looks like you happen to see where your dagger went, but it looks like it got picked up. So you can assume that Ella picked it up, because it'd be weird if the snake did.
Oi, Ella, you got my dagger? You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling alright. She just kind of holds out your dagger for you.
I take it back with a slight bow as a thank you.
I found these at the bottom of the well. She says that she opens up her hand to reveal the coins she found.
And you guys have count them all up, and there's about 14 silver pieces.
Okay. But it doesn't look like there is anything else down there. Just this and then the vermin.
Technically, snakes aren't counted as vermin, but, you know.
One of them tried to kill you.
And almost succeeded, mind you.
I think they earned the nickname Vermin for right now.
I gotta say, I did not expect the very first encounter to actually be that tense. But
I did because it's me.
now that everyone is healed up and not actively bleeding, what would you guys like to do?
I am going to look towards the mansion and see if I can see anything just through the windows, but not moving from where I am.
You don't notice anything in the windows. You see a lot of dust on the ground, things like that, but nothing really catches your eye at the moment.
So there's a door, right? Like from where we are. The front door is not too far off, right?
Correct. You guys are kind of off to the east side of the house.
Okay.
There's the garden on the west side, and then there's the front door as well.
I want to go try the door handle, see if it's locked.
So you walk up to the house. You can tell the house is about like 35 or so feet tall. Looks like it's a couple stories. And then when you go to use the door, though, it just swings right open.
Yep,
Ooh, how spooky.
definitely haunted. Definitely haunted. Door's open.
We should go inside.
I agree.
Or we could be smart about this and not just go inside the house that suddenly has an invisible person opening the door.
Just to clarify, it's not like she touched it and it opened on its own. It's more like she just like gently pushed it and it just swung.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that makes more sense.
No, it's not like the house opened the door and is inviting you in.
The door
You
was
found the
not
door
like-
was
what I got.
unlocked and it's just a light push opened it.
It's not like the door opened and went, "Come at me, bitch." This is a monster house. Yet.
So the door just is now open. Okay. I say we go in.
Yeah, we were told that it was dangerous at night, and it's not night, so it should
Oh,
be
it's
okay.
still probably dangerous, but with the screaming from the snakes, anybody who was here probably knows we're here.
Fair enough.
Cal, we're going inside.
Cal's just silently waiting for people to go so he can bring up the rear.
Okay. I'll take up the front. I'll go in first. I'll be the brave one.
Ella will follow after Lana.
I'll take up the back with Calamar.
Does he just follow us along?
I just imagine her skipping.
The front door opens onto a musty, dirty entrance hall. To your left, you guys see a corridor that leads into the west wing of the house. The walls are bare, and there's bits of smashed furniture that lie upon the floor. Ahead of you, there's another corridor that leads to the rear of the house. There's a staircase on the eastern wall that climbs to the next story, reaching it at a balcony that overlooks the entrance hall along its north and west sides. The stairs appear safe to climb, though the balcony rail is broken in several places. Under the stairs at the north end of the hall, a third corridor leads to the east.
Wow.
Big place.
When in doubt, go left.
I'm fine with going left.
Lead the way.
So you guys continue onward, and you see that there are 3 doors you can go through. There's one on the east, one to the west, and then one straight ahead.
Hmm.
Let's open them.
Yeah. I'll
I-
try the doors as I come to them.
Okay. So the first one would be the one on your left. You're gonna go ahead and open that one.
Yep.
You open it up, and this room you think must have once been a library at some point because there's bookshelves all around the walls. Most of the shelves are broken, and in many places they've come away from the wall. There's a few shelves that are still intact but empty, but there's a pile of books that's over in the southwest corner.
Oh, look, we found a library.
Do any of you guys want to go through any of the books and see if there's anything useful?
I mean, Cal does.
I want to investigate the shelves on the left wall, the L-shaped shelves.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me. And then, Cal, you're checking the pile of books, you said, correct?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and make an investigation check for me as well.
Damn, Cal.
Quinn, you search along the bookshelf. Most of the shelf is empty at this point. You do see a couple books that seem like they might be good for like a scholar, but not necessarily anything rare. There's things like history of Salt Marsh, collection of just like some random poems, things like that. Kalmar, when you search through the books, though, most of them are pretty ruined, but you can still read them. However, you find 3 books that seem quite noteworthy to you and are actually pretty well put together still. You find a book that is titled The Magical Properties of Gemstones by Tensor. You find a book called The Magical Properties of Herbs and Flowers, also by Tensor. And then you find a book called The Metaphysics of Mathematics by Nistel.
Did I notice anything noteworthy about the shells themselves?
You're surprised they're still together because they definitely show their age, but that's about it. And if you guys want, you guys can make a history check to see if you recognize the authors. Anyone who wants to make a roll for it.
I'll make a
But we
roll
don't know
for it.
yet. He didn't tell us about them.
True. So Kalmar will be like, I found these 3. These look interesting. Of course, the hermit rolls the highest.
She's
Yeah,
a hermit. She likes to read.
Yeah. For all of you, recognize the name Tensor because Tensor is a very famous archmage for the kingdom. Kalmar and Desi, though, you recognize Nistel as a famous mage who often would use precise calculations to kind of understand magic. Curiosity, are any of you opening up any of the books or anything like that?
Kalmar wants to look at these 3 books.
All right, is there anyone in particular you're looking at?
He's gonna start with the magic of herbs and flowers. Just kind of like flip through the book.
Okay. You're
a
surprised
good
by
book.
how well the book is still together, given its age, and just how dirty the pile was, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's completely legible and everything like that, so it could very well come in handy, or it could potentially be sold at a bookstore.
Okay. So he'll do the same to all 3 books. Just kind of flip through them, see if they're still well together as they look on the outside, and if there's anything like maybe paper that slips out of one of them or something.
You find that they're all in pretty good condition, they're all legible and everything like that. You should be able to find someone who will be willing to buy them, though you might think you might have to go beyond the town just in case. But when you flip through the 3rd book, a piece of parchment falls out, and it's handwritten in common. Most of it has been like soiled and destroyed, but there's 2 words that you can read, and that's beyond skeletons.
Okay, I'm gonna pass it around to everyone else, see if anybody else can read more than I can. I'm doubting so, but
Well, it's damaged, right? Is that
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
I want to hold it up to a light to see if there's anything special about it.
You hold it up, but you can just tell it's damaged. It's all waterlogged and whatnot, and you think that the ink probably ran. You can definitely tell it's been here for a long time, though.
Okay.
well, for the meantime, Kalmar's gonna put those 3 books in his bag.
To the next room.
Okay,
Yep.
you guys head back out to the hallway, and you see there's still the door that's now on, I guess, technically now in front of you, and then there's the door to your left, and then to the right heads back to the entrance hall.
Yeah, the one that's technically right in front of us when we come out. I'll try that door next.
Okay. So you guys walk in. You guys can tell this room was once a writing room or a study of some sort. Against the wall under the windows sits a large wooden writing desk, partially broken and riddled with damp rot. There's 3 drawers on each side of the desk and a large central drawer. The big drawer is closed, but the others are all open. And you can tell that 2 of them have been broken open with force.
Somebody was looking for something in here.
Is the bottom one locked? The big one, sorry.
The big one, yeah, if you go try it, yeah, you can tell it's locked.
Can I have thieves' tools? Can I try to pick it?
Go for it. Give me a dexterity check. You tinker with it for a little bit, and then tick.
I'm gonna open it up
Alright.
and see what's in there.
You see a bunch of papers and documents that are all written in common. Receipts for various chemical purchases, laboratory equipment, things like that. And then anyone who's looking in, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Son of a bitch.
You guys searching around, and you happen to find a secret compartment in the drawer.
Can I go ahead and try to open the secret compartment?
Go for it.
Okay.
So you go ahead and open it, and inside you see something is wrapped in cloth, but you can't quite tell what it is without unwrapping it.
Okay. Does anybody want to unwrap this? I don't get a really good feeling from it.
I'll do it. I'll be your
Okay.
guys. I'll be the party guinea pig.
You go ahead and unwrap it, and 2 vials of a red liquid that you happen to recognize as potions of healing.
Ah, those will come in handy.
And
Yay.
going through the list of papers and all the receipts for chemicals and all that stuff, am I able to recognize if it's for alchemy or is it for herbology, whatever, herbalist, or
Yeah, it'd be, you recognize it's herbalism.
I'm going to look through the open drawers just to see if there's anything that was left in them that's useful.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okie dokie. Be good. How dare you?
You look through the drawers, but it looks like they've been pretty much picked clean. Maybe find like a couple random pieces of paper, but nothing important.
Do we want to look at the broken bookshelf? Or look around the room to see if we see anything in the room?
I was going to take a glance around the room with my perception.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Bam.
Nothing really sticks out to you. You think that maybe the chair that's in the back by the wall might be comfy, but that's about it. As for Calmir and Ella, you guys can tell that with it almost seems like the amount of dust in this room is less than the previous one.
Okay.
Almost as if maybe someone has been here more recently than the library.
Okay.
I want to go sit in the comfy chair.
All right, you sit in the comfy chair. It's surprisingly soft.
Ah, this is the life.
So next room.
Next room.
All right.
So down to the last doorway in
Yep.
the hall. Okay.
Yep.
When you arrive here, you can see that there's a door to the north of the room that leads to a small patio, the paving cracked and overrun with weeds. This room seems to be a living area of some sort. There's a pile of refuse in the southeast corner, but other than that, the room is surprisingly barren.
Hello, weeds.
What are they saying to you?
Well, I can't hear them. They're outside.
Kalmar's going to do a perception check around the room.
Ella's gonna go ahead and do the same.
And Desi will too, since everybody else is looking around.
Ella and Desi, you guys happen to notice that there's actually some tracks in the dirt, in the dust, that look actually like humanoid.
I'm gonna definitely point those out.
I wonder what those are.
Those look recent.
You can see it goes to this odd spot on the floor and then stops.
I'm gonna investigate that spot.
You go over there, and all of a sudden you hear a loud and malevolent voice.
Welcome, fools! Welcome to your deaths!
Wow.
Fuck.
And then everyone make a wisdom saving.
Everyone do what?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Finally.
Apparently that was too scary for me.
All right, so most of you are fine, but Desi, you are terrified. Like, you practically crapped your pants.
Did the voice come from directly below?
It almost seemed to like echo around you.
I almost want to check to see if there's any type of like machinery or sound thing they might have used to make that. Like a recording device.
Okay, go ahead and make a investigation check for me. You can tell there's not like any technological items here, but you do get the faint sense of magic.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, what is Desi doing at this point now that she's scared spitless?
Desi has gotten a little closer to Captain Quinn, just in case something wants to come at us.
I would like to look back down the hall we came and make sure nobody's coming up from the hall.
You look through the hall, but it's still barren. Nothing there. Calamir, you look around. You can't quite tell where the voice came from, but you think it might have something to do with the tracks.
Okay.
Can I continue investigating the spot where the tracks stop?
Yeah, go for it.
That's what I want to do too.
Good one, Cal.
You guys do some deeper digging, and you actually notice what looks like maybe a trap door that goes down.
I'm gonna call out
Is
to
it
everyone.
locked or anything, or do we just have to pull it to open it?
Give me a strength check. Because it's a bit heavy.
Hey!
Good job, Cal.
Yeah, Callie's kind of like, He-Man, fuck it up.
Okay, so I managed to pull it open, shaking out my arms because I was really heavy.
And Desi, you are really scared because you think that the voice probably came from down there.
It probably did.
Everything is scary right now, isn't it?
Desi is terrified. I don't know how you're not terrified. There are big booming voices in a scary haunted house.
We don't know it's haunted yet. Calm the fuck down.
It's most likely cultists. It's probably not
I
even
literally
haunted.
just pictured like that voice happening. Nobody reacts except Desi. Everyone else is like, "Huh, that was interesting."
Right?
Something.
Desi hears a lot of voices, but nothing like that.
Sweet sad girl.
I want to check on Sebastian to make sure he's okay.
He's curled up in a ball in your pocket right now.
Okay.
You guys want to check it out?
I mean, if you want to.
I'll stay up here.
I'm staying up here.
Okay.
Is
Ella's
it ladder or stairs?
It's stairs.
Okay.
Ella is gonna stay up here for right now, but stay close enough that if they shout, she can go down and help.
Yeah, you don't want Desi down there in a tight space, kind of spooked. Did you see what happened with the snake?
So this torchlit chamber was once a large cellar, but has since been converted into living quarters. 10 crude beds stand along the south wall, each with a wooden locker at its foot. A long wooden trestle table, ringed by rickety stools, dominates the center of the room. Metal cutlery, cups, and dirty plates sit atop the table. A cook stove is installed near the table, and evidence of recently cooked meals sits in pots atop it. A large ham hangs from a loop of twine near the stove. A set of sturdy stairs leads to the trapdoor on the ceiling above where you just came from, and there are 2 wooden doors at the east side of the room.
Is there anybody in the room, or just it's empty?
As you guys get down, you see 3 people come out from one of the doors and go around the corner. And upon seeing you, they immediately pull weapons.
Bring it.
Kalmar's gonna shout out, or not shout, but just call up. There's people down here.
Ella's gonna shout back, "Do they look friendly?"
Nope.
Nope.
All right, I'm coming down.
I'm giving everyone a chance to run downstairs before we start initiative.
Can I hop down the stairs?
I mean, sure.
Or is there a rail? Can I slide down the stairs?
There's no rail.
It would be so old that you just end up with splinters in your butt.
I mean, I have to be,
Extra?
awesome. So
Desi's gonna just stay up there still and keep watch, just in case.
You know what? Before Ella goes down, she's gonna go over to Desi. She's gonna take her hand. She's like, "Hey, I know you're scared, but it sounds like we're gonna need your help down there."
Yeah, okay. I guess
Yeah,
I was...
you managed to shake off the frightened condition, so you're back to normal.
Okay. I'll go with Ella then.
Okay. And then once everyone is downstairs, please roll initiative for me.
That's better.
Look at those numbers, guys.
don't jinx me.
All right, in that case, let's go ahead and start initiative. Starting our first round with Quinn.
Well, you know what I'm going to do first. I'm going to mock them. Can I mock all 3 of them at once? Will that work?
Single target.
Single target. Okay, let's do the furthest one.
Yeah, you're in range. So go ahead and we'll cast your spell.
Wow, you really hurt his feelings.
Yeah, I did.
What in the world
What did you
to him?
say?
What did you say?
I want to say I called him a princess.
That's a cute dress your husband making for you.
Yeah.
Well, he is psychologically damaged.
I'll move right in front of, I'm guessing that's like a stove? What is that?
Yes, that is the stove that you are in front of.
Oh,
Anything else you'd like to do? You still have a bonus action.
I want to go ahead and give, because she was shaken, Desi Bardic Inspiration.
What's that? What's that?
What this does for you, Desi, is you now have a Bardic Inspiration die, which right now is a d6. So once within the next 10 minutes, you can roll the d6 and add that number to either an ability check, an attack roll, or a saving throw.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So movement, action, and bonus action. So that's all your turns. So next we are on Calmir.
Okay, Cal is going to take out his trusty crossbow and shoot Smuggler 3.
Okay, make an attack roll for me.
And I shoot.
Actually, that hits. So roll damage.
Oh, thank God.
All right. You go ahead and take out your trusty crossbow, pull back, and boom, right in the shoulder. And you can see this clearly did a good chunk of damage to him. He's coughing up blood and whatnot and swearing under his breath. Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
All I'm allowed is another movement, right?
You also have a bonus action. If you have anything that takes a bonus action.
I'm going to move down 1 square just so that the others have a chance to get around the table and I'm not blocking them.
I will say, if you want to, just as a bonus action, if you want to reload your crossbow.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and reload it. And then on that note, that means it is now, boom, Lana's turn.
I will move up there and smack him with my longsword.
Okay. Make your attack roll. That hits, so go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Okay.
How you want to do it?
Probably an upswing.
All right. Just go ahead and take your longsword and shoot, slash right across his chest. Big old bloody gash, and he falls to the floor.
Awesome.
1 down.
Anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
I will move my 5 and that'll be it.
Okay.
More trying to block the path to the archer.
In that case, Ella, it is your turn.
Okay. Ella's going to move over here. And she's going to throw one of her darts at Smuggler number 2.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll. So you hit, so go ahead and roll your damage. And it's kind of, fuck you, right? It has this, that, like, just gets right embedded in his arm. He pulls it out and just hucks it to the ground. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn?
No, that's good.
Okay. In that case, we are now down to Desi. Your turn.
I am going to move a little closer here. And I am going to use Magic Missile on the last 2.
How are you divvying up the shots?
I'm going to hit Smuggler number 2 with 1 of them, and then Smuggler number 1 with 2.
Okay.
So that's for Smuggler number 2. That is for number 1.
Okay. And you can tell now both of them are starting to bleed pretty badly, but they're both still standing.
Am I able to pull out my bow?
Since your magic missile didn't take any materials, you wouldn't have had to pull out your focus or anything like that. So I will say that you can bonus action and pull your bow out.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and get my bow out in case it's needed next round.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
Alright. So the first smuggler is going to kind of like shake his head a little bit, clap his hands against his face. He's going to pull out a short sword and he's going to run up to you, Quinn, and he's going to go ahead and take a swing. His first swing just kind of goes wide. You can tell he's not quite feeling well from all this damage he's taken. Kind of growls and swings again, but you're able to just deftly dodge out of the way.
Sweet.
The next one is going to go ahead and go up to you, Lana, and do similar. Going to go ahead and pull out scimitar and take a swing, but it just bounces off your armor.
Yeah, it's a good armor.
Okay. And now we're back up the top with Quinn.
Alright, so I'm gonna go around behind him. And then
All right, so you go ahead and take a swing with your rapier, but the guy swaying from the blood loss is messing with your aim, and you end up missing.
Fuck.
Now we're on to Kalmar. Are you shooting at the?
Yeah, sorry, Smuggler 2.
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. How you want to do it?
I am aiming for between his eyes.
You go ahead and carefully aim your crossbow and just, and bam, right between the eyes, like the bridge of his nose, and you watch him just fall to the ground, and he's gone.
Damn!
And now we are on to Lana's turn.
I believe I will just come up here and smack that guy.
All right, roll for your attack. Apparently,
That didn't
this smuggler is just the master of drunken master fighting style. Because the way he's just swaying from all the blood loss, just making everyone miss. Ella, it is your turn.
Ella's gonna move up here, and she's gonna punch this guy.
All right. Since you guys have someone on multiple sides from him now, you now have flanking, which means you have an advantage on the attack roll.
Okay.
All right. That's a hit. Roll your damage. Okay. You managed to flop him really well in the jaw, but surprisingly, he's still standing, though. Looks like maybe not even because of his own volition. Might just be his body acting on his own at this point.
Because I used a martial arts, can I hit him again for my bonus?
Yep. And since you're still flanking, you still have the advantage. Yep. So I'm just going to say, because you have the mirror modifier, you're going to do this. So how do you want to do it?
This is a good one. How about a good uppercut?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, do an uppercut! Do an uppercut!
Just a
Yeah,
good old
So Ella kind
uppercut.
of ducks down a little bit and just, sure you can! Punches the guy so hard his head comes flying off.
Oh!
Fuck.
Wow. Not bad.
Yep, Quinn will definitely hit that now.
Kalmar is just gonna back away from her a little more.
Okay. Everyone give me one thing you want to do real quick before we go ahead and call it.
I want to check the bodies.
Okay. So you go ahead and check the bodies. You find a couple scimitars, a short sword, and some light crossbows. You also find about 5 gold pieces between the 3 of them.
Okay. Can I add those to my inventory? Can I use all of them?
So you can use the short swords and the crossbows, but you can't use the scimitar.
Okay, I'll take the short swords and the hand crossbows. How many is that?
So there's 2 scimitars and 1 short sword and 3 light crossbows.
Okay.
Now I will ask, are you pocketing them yourself, or are you putting them in the party?
The short sword and one of the crossbows are going to be.
What about the gold? Are you just keeping that to yourself, you dirty pirate, you?
Yes? What kind of question is that? How much gold was that again?
5.
5?
Okay.
Wow. How much
I know,
was he
fuck
fighting?
us apparently.
You guys didn't check.
You managed to find about 20 bolts scattered around as well between the bodies.
Okay. I'm gonna take 5 of them.
Ella wants to check the room.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check then. Is there anywhere in particular for the room you're looking at, or just in general?
You said that there were lockers by the bed. She kind of wants to check those.
So kind of like down in this area about, because these are all the beds down here.
Yeah.
You're looking around and you manage to find that there's a wooden footlocker in front of every single bed, but they are locked. And you can also kind of see, it looks like there might have been some of these things, some of these like shells might have been moved recently, but you can't quite tell why.
And there's no way for me to get these footlockers open.
I mean, you can try to either like pick the lock or force it open.
Could also call out to the one that knows picklocking.
That's what I was thinking.
say.
I was gonna say that's what she's thinking of doing. She's gonna call for Kalmar. You think you can pick these locks?
I can certainly try.
Go ahead and give me sleight of hand checks for these. Takes a little bit of work, but you managed to pop open each of them.
Okay.
They mostly have just personal effects, like changes of clothes, some notes, things like that. But you manage to just dig through everything, and you find some coin purses among them. Each one has about 7 gold pieces and 15 silver pieces, and you have to find one in each chest.
And how many chests are there?
There's
10.
10.
Cool.
That's a lot.
All right, I'm going to give them to Lana, who is our treasurer, because I'm an honest person.
Excuse me, I'm the one that found them.
I'm the one that opened all the locks for you, so I looked through them too.
I was gonna give them to Lana anyways, but don't insinuate that Ella's gonna steal like Captain Quinn.
Oh no, I was insinuating Captain Quinn entirely, not you.
Did they even see me find the gold pieces? I mean, come on,
Yeah.
if you didn't see it.
Were you being stealthy about it?
No.
That's fair.
Exactly.
Ella's
It's like, I heard no stealth check asked when you're stealing. You used grabbing, so they saw you.
Yeah,
Maybe they were distracted. I don't know.
So that's Ella. So next.
I want to listen at these doors to see if I can hear anything on the other side of them.
You're not going to try to just open them?
No, I'm going to listen first in case there's more people on the other sides.
So you get over there. The door to your left, the one that you're right in front of right now, appears normal. But the other one has a wooden bar across it, held in brackets on the frame, and a word danger is scrawled on the door in common using chalk.
That sounds promising. I'd still like to listen to both. Do we know which door these guys came out of?
You think it's
Probably
the one
not the one that's barred.
Yeah, not the one that's
Probably
barred.
not, but
It's that one. It looks like because the bars are on your side, so if so nothing from the other side can come through. So they came from the
This
door
door.
that you're in front of. Yes.
okay. Still want to listen. Do I do investigation or perception?
Perception, because you're using your active senses.
Apparently, I'm
Not
just
very
deaf.
well.
You listen and you start hearing crickets, but then you realize it's in your head.
Can you hear them too?
So we got Lana and Desi for last things you guys want to do before we call it.
Desi's just going to investigate. This is a table right here?
Yep.
Yeah, she's just going to investigate the table, look under it, look on top to see if there's any like markings or words carved in it or anything weird like that.
Okay, make an investigation check for me.
Nope. Just hearing voices.
You go to look around, but then you smell something really good, and your eyes start turning towards the stove, and you can kind of tell that the meal that was made here was made very recently. But that's about it.
Cool.
And Lana, anything you'd like to do for the last thing before we go?
So how many beds were there again? I'm just trying to get a rough count for my own.
There's 10 beds, and each one had a chest that have been opened now.
Okay. And there was stuff in each chest, so that means we have probably 11 enemies at minimum. Okay.
Well, 3 are dead.
Well, in total is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Why 11 if there's only 10 beds?
Because the boss never sleeps with the underlings.
Oh, clever.
I was thinking because somebody ought to keep a watch, but
I mean, they're both good options.
So yeah, I would just like to look around the room in general for any details that we missed.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me then.
Be something better than a 3.
Hopefully, because I have a +0 to it. Did that count? Oh, good, it didn't.
That's
So,
not
for the
that's not what I
record-
meant.
For the record, I just rolled 2 nat 1s back to back. On the same.
Oh.
It was fate. I see abso-fucking-lutely nothing.
I'm going to be honest, just because you rolled 2 nat 1s back to back, I'm going to go ahead and actually throw you a bone. Because you failed so spectacularly.
Is it from the ham?
Give me the ham.
You're looking around just, oh man, the stove smelled so good. And you go over and you have to check it, and while you're going over, you trip. And you actually manage to swing the stove around and find it leads to another cellar.
Nice job.
Oh, Lord.
I totally meant to do that.
Totally, totally.
And on that note, our session is complete for today.
Yay!